Welcome to the Ohio Gun Owners live stream, folks. I'm going to keep this video quite short, actually. It's just going to be very simple, and we're going to talk about the Ohio Second Amendment Preservation Act, House Bill 51. To be short and to get right to the point, we are done beating around the bush. The time to pass SAPA is now. For the last 3.5 years, Joe Biden's administration launched near daily attacks on our Second Amendment, which is why gun owners stormed the polls on November 5th and kicked their asses out of Washington, D.C. In response to the Biden attacks 3.5 years ago, quite frankly, when he first got into office, OGO worked with our allies in the Ohio General Assembly to introduce the Ohio Second Amendment Preservation Act. We call it SAPA, so that Ohio gun owners like you would be protected from federal tyranny by preventing Ohio cops from enforcing federal gun control laws. Unbelievably, the Ohio General Assembly has not done a single thing to future-proof the rights of Ohio citizens against federal gun control. And I'm talking long after President Trump is out of office. In fact, the legislature hasn't passed a single substantive bill this entire session. And honestly, this entire General Assembly. But far worse than that, I think, is the fact that the Ohio General Assembly blocked SAPA for that same 3.5 years that Joe Biden was attacking our gun rights. They blocked SAPA as a political favor to the gun control lobby like the FOP and the Buckeye State Sheriff's Association, all in exchange for their endorsements and their PAC checks for their reelection campaigns. Don't forget, these are the same gun control groups that have testified against every pro-gun bill we've passed in the last 10 years, like Stand Your Ground law and constitutional carry. In fact, they've testified against and opposed every pro-gun bill going all the way back to 2004 and shall issue. Unbelievable. Right now is what's called lame duck session in Columbus. It's when the elections have happened. The old legislators who were elected in 2022 are still in office, and the new crop that was elected in the 2024 elections are not sworn in yet. But that means that since it's lame duck session right now, it means it's our last shot to crank up the pressure and demand that the legislature do the job they promised to do all the way back in the 2022 elections. The time to pass SAPA is now, right now. The bill is done. The language is perfect. We made all the changes we needed that were necessary after the Missouri federal court ruling. The bill does a beautiful job of protecting gun owners from federal tyranny, and it equips Ohio law enforcement with the tools they need to get all the bad guys. It's time for the Ohio General Assembly to get off their asses and put this bill on the floor now. A lot of people are asking, well, why do we need to do this now, Chris? Why don't we just do this, in a couple of years? Well, here it is in a nutshell. When gun owners and voters went to the polls on November 5th of this year and got President Trump elected, that wasn't the end of the fight. That was the start of the fight. They elected President Trump to go to Washington, D.C. and take action to take our country back. So too did voters go to the polls in November of 2022 and elect a Republican supermajority to go to Columbus and fight back against this federal tyranny. Now is the time to future-proof Ohio's laws for the day long after President Trump is out of office. Now is the time. So please click the link that's included with this video, or you guys can go to ohiosapalaw.com. Please send a pre-written email to your state representative and your state senator and demand that they stop running interference for the gun control lobby and put SAPA on the floor and pass the bill.